Got a '08 Audi, that's what it is, because that's the Audi logo. It's a Q8. What's going on with this? The brake light just stuck on the part brake. And what it is, I got a shock down here, or like a hood strut. And what it is, the parking brake doesn't seem to want to completely disengage. So I got it off now, but if I push on it ever so slightly, it'll come on. Then I gotta lift up on it to get it off. So the customer complaint was, as they'll drive, the annoying indicator will indicate that there's something going on. This is a Facebook marketplace buy. This car has a plethora of problems. So we're going to eliminate this issue. But the original issue was the steering wheel somehow became loose. And I can turn this off, and the steering wheel will literally go around. So I'm kind of curious to see what happened with that. Let's pull this strut off. It seems to be tab on the end, the inside right there. Take my pick, go in there, pull out, remove that, and do the same for the lower portion of the foot pedal. So easy, a caveman can do it, seriously. I can do it. Dang it, anybody can do this. That's probably why I ain't got no video on it. I'm gonna pop that in there. Like that. And back, let me make sure this is all the way up. There we go. Alright, let's see what happens. Alright, it should be on. Off. I'm gonna push down on it. I'm gonna lift up on the parking brake. Oh, and it goes off. Cool. Yeah, when I push down on it, it retracts back up. Before it wouldn't do that. Let's see how the shock look. It should just stay fixed. Push down on it, it wouldn't have any spring back. Yep. It's supposed to spring back out like that, but it doesn't. It's problem one. I gotta figure out why this has this amount of play in it. I don't know if it was replaced before, but it'll be interesting to see what's behind here. I've never pulled one of these off. Normally they're look a little bit easier. Look like I gotta remove this tab to gain some access. I'm gonna look up and see what I gotta use. This is not supposed to go that way. I mean, the car's off. I'll make sure the wheels are straight. There should be a little indicator in here, I'd imagine. Let's see what I gotta do. Remove this tab. Don't make it hard on me. If I move it down here, I should have some space down here where I can expose it. What is it? A star. I think I might be able to get in an angle. Yeah, I should be able to get it like that. I have to move it down to that opening to pull it all the way out. This is this cover. This is the cover here. It sits in the wheel. Let me see what I gotta use. Alright, seems to be a T, what feel like 27. Hopefully this is it. Not like any other place that you gotta gain access to pull that out. I don't know what it looked like. Cool. Now, ideally, you want to disconnect the battery. I'm sweating. So this is it. This became loose. That's interesting. Let me see, the threads in the back are damaged or compromised. It should sit like in a threaded cavity, like on a threaded shaft or something. Cause it's stripped. Let me pull the whole thing off. The clock. There is some steering angle issues. I want to say there's some code. There was some codes in there related to some issues with the steering. So there's something obviously wrong with the clock spring. This had to have been removed before. This sparkling metal, probably because of it being turned and it being stripped out. How though? That is, so technically it needs a steering column, but there's a the steering wheel sits up from the shaft, so I might be able to torque it down, put some lock thread in there and get it tight enough to where it'll be like a compression fitting, like the harmonic balancers on Fords. That is kind of concerning, but I will say if you push down on it, you can move it fine. So I'm sure and secure enough that this will secure itself into place once I get the wheel straight and tighten it down properly. This had to have been removed before. I think this car was in some kind of collision at one point in time. So I can zoom in just a little bit. Not too much though. And put some mild blue Loctite on this also. I think that'll give me a little bit of reassurance. I don't know how this backed out. Do I got anything this big? I think I can use a 6-point because this is a 12. I think I got something that big. It's a triple square would be considered. I'm gonna see what I got. Should. Yeah, I do. First thing I get my hands on. This is the Duralast. Get these from AutoZone. This is not an O'Reilly's product. This is an M12. Fits right on in there. Let me straighten the wheel up. I would imagine this would have like some type of indication. There is one on the steering wheel itself, but there's nothing behind the wheel that will give me the ability to go to some factory type setting. So I have to eyeball the steering wheel. Alright, I'm just working on getting the steering wheel centered. The tires look straight. I clipped the wheels, just eyeballing it. And assuming that my eyes aren't off. This is pretty straight. Alright, I looked and checked the wheels. He clipped the wheels to make sure they looked like they were in lined up. I'm hoping I'm in sync. I wish there was just a notch on here, but unfortunately there isn't. I'm gonna Oh, I'm rolling the dice. I think I'm fine. Let's see what happens. Got me some old Loctite. I got some new mild Loctite. I'm just gonna use this old one. There was a little bit on there. That was some blue mild Loctite. It just seemed like it probably wore off. We got some fresh on here, some fresh old Loctite. It don't take much, but I don't want this thing coming back. I don't need no assistance. Here we go. I don't have it tightened all the way down, and it's definitely able to move on its own weight without stripping. I'm gonna look at I need to look at the torque specs and torque it down. It's one of the rare occasions you'll see me use a torque wrench. Here we go. All right, so the torque specs on Identifix was like 28 foot-pounds, so I'm gonna torque it at 30. Just a little bit more, because I don't want it to come off anymore. It's pretty tight. I swear I don't think that whoever replaced this just didn't torque it down properly. I don't know. I don't know. This looked like some junkyard writing. I might be wrong. Call me crazy. Alright, I'm going to test drive this, and I'm going to find out that I did everything wrong, because I usually do. Where the hell is this? There's a ground wire. Oh. Down at the bottom. It's for the horn, but it's painted in blue, so it's pretty obvious. I shouldn't be screwing that up. I'm gonna get everything back in place. I want to test drive it, and I should be fine. Alright, just got back off my test drive. Everything's working out perfectly fine. I did have to take the airbag back off to go and move the steering wheel over about 2 notches to the left, and everything's working straight and true, so we're good with that. Parking brakes fixed. That new strut got some spring back, so that indicator's not coming on anymore. The horn doesn't work. I just noticed that, and it didn't dawn on me, like pulling everything off. The horn just didn't go off, like go crazy or anything. But I do remember there being a code inside the module, the steering control module, saying something about the steering angle unfound or something related to not knowing the position of the steering wheel. And there's likely somebody had been in here before. The clock spring had to been removed. Maybe the airbag went off, and somebody tried to do some repairs, and some stuff got fucked up. So here we are. But as far as that, little by little, we're making small changes and getting little things fixed. It does have a wiring issue in the back. I'm not gonna talk about that. Maybe I'll make a video in the future, but in relation to staying on topic and what I got going on today, this is fixed. This is torqued down to 28, and I went like an additional like 45 degree. This ain't going nowhere, and I wish it would. And I got Loctite on it, so I dare you. So if anything happened, I'll definitely update. But hit that link, subscribe to the channel, stay informed, have every assurance of my work. See you next one.